Hello, welcome along. It's that time of year. The autumn and winter are approaching. The nights are getting dark. We don't have that problem here in Finland in the summer, 24-hour daylights and all. But in the autumn and winter, it's the opposite. We need light if we're going to be outdoors. So let's have a look at a few of my lights and torches that I've collected over the years, and a few tips on keeping your night vision, for example. Okay, welcome to the channel. Please subscribe. Let's have a look. You ready, dear?
Yes.
Yes?
I am.
Should we do it then?
Yes, let's start.
Okay. Welcome then on this snowy morning. First snow, second snow actually. It's quite nice to see the snow come, but it's a bit chilly and a bit wet, I have to say. Torches and lamps. Now we need these in the autumn and winter for safety, first of all. You don't want to stumble over some rocks in the dark in the middle of the night and injure yourself. Signalling if you get into trouble, of course, but then also just for comfort. It's nice to have a little bit of light in the dark forest in a camp. So a number of reasons why we need them. And then I've got here a number of different types that I've collected over the years. Some of them are not very good for camping, some of them are very good. What am I going to look at? A few things. First of all, types of batteries. Do we need rechargeable or normal batteries? Then I've got these multi-function devices, so they do a couple of things at the same time. Night vision, how to keep your night vision with red lights, for example, and an old army trick which I can teach you. I learned when I was younger. And then a couple of luxury items as well, like this Firemaple. So let's have a look and see what we've got and what I like and what I'll use in future. Right, let's start with these. First of all, these are the things that I won't be taking on my hike. Well, this one maybe I will. Let's have a look at that. But this one, standard torch, very good, nice and bright, quite heavy, and it takes traditional batteries. So if the batteries run out and I'm not carrying an extra set of batteries, which I don't, well then it becomes useless, just a dead weight. So that's handy at home, but not for hiking. That's out. This and this and this and this actually were all free samples from a marketing company for my company they sent me. That's quite handy. It's like a pen shape, but it's just a lead torch. If I lose something in the car under the car seat, I'll use that, but that's about it. Little metal torch. Okay, it's okay, gadget. This, it's got a magnet on it so you can stick it on the fridge. Gadget. Same with this, it's got a magnet on it, so that's quite bright actually, that's okay. But I put it on the fridge and it stays there and I never use it, so gadget. This one's quite good. It's only a small little torch with 3 little LEDs in it, weighs nothing, and quite handy to just put in your pocket or on your key ring or in your backpack, and little backup it takes very small little watch batteries, which I'll never carry spares for that. So if it runs out, it runs out, but then it's so small and light that it doesn't really matter. So that one's actually quite useful. Yeah, I'll use that. This one, this contraption I bought, it was a mistake. It's very powerful, very powerful. A couple of different lighting functions on it, but the power pack is this. You have to carry that with it. It's a monster. I don't know why I bought it actually. This is the headlamp and chest lamp, and which doesn't seem to work. I can never get it to fit, and it's always tangled up and stuck to itself, so that's out. So out of this lot, these gadget things, that's the one that has probably got any use. This little one here. Everything else is out. What else have we got? Right, now we get to the good stuff. These are multi-function, so they've got more than one function, which I'll describe in a minute. And this one I like just because it's so simple. It's a little lantern. I don't know where I found it, in a supermarket somewhere years ago. Twist it on. It's got one little LED in it. Hang it up in your tent. It's bright enough. Twist it again and it flashes, I think. I don't know what the point of that is. That's it. It takes a watch battery, so of course if it runs out, it's dead weight again. But on a night hike, it's never run out on me. It's always been useful, and I'll take that with me quite often. You know, just stick it in with the tent, and it's there. So that one's a nice little thing to carry around. Very, very light, very easy to use. And now we get to these. Right, which one should we start with? Let's start with that. The Goal Zero Lighthouse Micro. There. This has 3 functions. First, it's a torch. So it'll light up at the end, and it's a torch. And that's dimmable, so you can brighten it or dim it to save battery power if you don't need it on full power. Second, it's a lantern, so press it again. 4 LEDs inside will light up, so it's nice and bright. But again, it's dimmable, so you can dim it down to save the battery power. Press it again, 2 of those LEDs go out, and now you've only got 2 which are shining, so again it'll preserve the battery for you, and then you can dim it down as well, so if you don't want it on full power, it's you can dim it down. So you've got the torch, and then you've got the lantern with either 4 or 2 LED options, and they're all dimmable. It's rechargeable, which I like because you don't have to carry around an extra set of batteries with you. We always carry battery packs with us, so you can charge it up there nice and easily. But the other function of this, which I like, is that it's actually a battery pack in itself. So if my phone runs out, for example, then I've got a battery pack there which I can put a little bit of charge back into the iPhone. It won't fully charge it, I don't think. What is this? It's 2,600 milliampere hours. So it's enough to get you out of trouble if you need to back charge and put some power back into your phone, for example. Then at least you have something there that you can use. So that's actually quite useful for that. Torch, lantern, and a battery pack as well. Saying that, I don't use it. I don't know why. Well, maybe these are more useful. Actually, it's a good torch. It's a good device. I can't complain about it, and it's it's well made in every way. It's useful, but I've just got these other things which perhaps are a little bit more useful. So unfortunately, it stays at home. All right. So what else have we got? This one. Everything's getting wet. It's cold, but it's not minus. I think it's +1. So the snow's just melting. It's making everything wet and dirty. This is the Flextailgear Tiny Pump X. There are two versions of this. One is just the pump. The other one is this one, which has the pump and it has the lantern on it as well. So why use a pump with your sleeping pads to stop the condensation from going inside the sleeping pad? That's simple enough. If you blow it up, you're going to breathe a lot of condensation into the pad. It won't escape. It'll create mold. It'll shorten the life of the sleeping pad. A lot of the sleeping pads these days come with a vortex sac, so you don't blow it up like a balloon. You just blow into it. It circulates the air from the environment, the atmosphere, into it, creates a vortex and fills it up. So you've got a lot less condensation in that, and they're easy to use. They weigh nothing, so they're very handy. But then, of course, if you use this pump, then there's no moisture at all getting inside the sleeping pad. So it's certainly going to save anything that you blow up if you use a pump like this. Rechargeable, so you don't need to carry around batteries with you. So that's the first function. The second function, there's the pump. There you go. That's fine. It works really well. Second function is the lamp. So you've got three levels of brightness there. Nice and bright, and the battery seems to last. It's never run out on me on a night out. So of course, if you're carrying this with you anyway to blow up your sleeping pads, well, then it makes sense to use the battery that's inside it for the light as well, so you don't have to carry around a separate torch. It is a lantern. It's not really a torch, so if you go out at night, it'll work, of course, but it's not the most handy. It's really for hanging up and using as a lantern, but it is a good device. A couple of people have mentioned that you have to be careful with this multi-function button, because it'll turn on the pump, but it also turns on the light, and you have to remember which one is which, how to turn each one on, because if you're in the middle of the night and you want to put the lantern on, and you turn the pump on by mistake, you're going to upset a few of your neighbours, I think, if you do that. 2 o'clock in the night. So one press, short press, will turn on the pump. A long press will turn on the light. You just have to remember that in the middle of the night, so you don't wake everybody up. That's good. I like that. That one always comes with me because I like to use it for the sleeping pad. Okay, my favourite, I suppose, is this one, Headlamp, which also you can buy this separately. I'll explain that in a minute. 2 or 3 reasons I really like this. The first one is that it's a headlamp, so you put it on your head, your hands are free to do whatever you need to do. If you're carrying a torch, you've lost one hand. So if you're cooking or doing something, it's a bit of a pain. Headlamp, you can direct it wherever you want it to be. Your hands are free. Secondly, it's rechargeable. You don't have to worry about carrying batteries around. So if it runs out, you charge it back up with your battery pack. So that's very handy. Third, it has 3 different lighting systems actually. First one is intelligent, so it's got a sensor. There are 3 different lighting levels which you can set with an app on the phone. It's a little bit overkill. I probably wouldn't buy this one again, but anyway, it works. So low level, medium and high, but then for each one the sensor will adjust the brightness depending on the situation. So if I'm reading in the tent, it'll lower automatically the light, the brightness, because it doesn't need to be so bright. And then if I step out of the tent and look at the trees in the distance, it'll put it on full power so that I can see in the distance. That's a battery saving function, and it works very well. If it's snowing, it can be a little bit of it doesn't work so well because the snowflakes the sensor keeps seeing the snowflakes and dimming, and so it doesn't work if it's snowing like this, for example, so well, but or raining. But otherwise it works very well. Then the side button will just put on 3 different levels of brightness without using the sensor, so it's fixed. So that's fine for that. The third function is this, if I can switch it on there, red light function. Right, now we can start talking about night vision. Night vision, if you close your eyes in the dark for 30-40 minutes, you'll get 80% of your night vision. That means that when it's dark you can actually see quite a lot. You'll get 100% night vision after about 1 or 2 hours it takes, but 80% after about 40 minutes, I guess. It's something like that. The minute you turn on a light, you'll lose it. It's gone. And then you have to start again. It takes another 40 minutes to get that night vision back. So you can't see anything in the dark. Unless you use a red light. If you use a red light, you don't lose your night vision. Don't ask me why. There is a medical reason why the red light doesn't affect your night vision. Check it out. You can find it somewhere. I'm not going into that, but it works. If you use the red light, then you keep your night vision. So that's useful if you need to leave the tent in the middle of the night and you don't want to lose that night vision, or if there are other people around you and you don't want to disturb them by putting a light on and they'll lose their night vision. But there is another trick to keep your night vision, which I learned when I was in the Air Cadets as a young man, and we used to do these night exercises, and that's to keep one eye closed. So if you need to leave the tent and you don't have a red light, you just have a normal torch, you want to keep your night vision, close one eye, can't switch that off, switch your torch on or your lamp, and then when you've finished, switch your light off and open your eye, and then you can see. Try it. If you wake up in the night, sometime need the toilet, close one eye, switch the lights on, and then when you've finished, switch the lights off, and when you open that eye, you'll be able to see. It works. That's a nice little tip if you don't have a red light. That's the only thing I have that does have a red light. But normally I just close my eye, keep one eye closed. It always works. That's what I do. So it has the two different lamp options, the red light, and it's hands-free. But then also what I like about this, and it's rechargeable, is that you can buy this. So this is a little pod. You put the headlamp into it, zip it up, and it becomes a lamp that you can hang up in your tent. There we are. It's got a little elasticated cord here. So you open that, hook it in, and then you can hang it up. So that then becomes a lamp inside your tent, and that's very handy. You know, I like the headlamp anyway because of it's such an easy thing to use, and you keep your hands free. But then having this option to turn it into a lamp makes it my go-to. Actually, I guess that's the one that I'll always have that with me if I'm going out and it's going to be dark. So that's my number one choice, I think, because of that. All right, if you do need to leave the tent in the night, you have to take it out, unzip it, take it out, put it on, and then if you want to hang it up again, you have to put it back. So it can be a bit of a faff, but not really, not much. It's certainly got more advantages than disadvantages. So that's my go-to, I think. That one I'll have with me anyway, so I've got two. That one can be the torch, that one can be the lamp. That one I don't use. Yeah, why not? That's okay sometimes. They're the ones I like. What do you think? This is the Firemaple Orange gas candle. Is it a gadget? Is it useful? You can decide. Let me know. If you carry a gas canister with you for your cook pots, cook systems, for example, well, then you can take it along. I would never take this on a long hike because it's too bulky and it doesn't weigh very much. But it's not something that you would carry. And it screws onto your gas canister like that, and then you light it, and it's like a large candle. It doesn't give off a lot of light. You can read by it, some people have said, but I find it actually quite dark. It's not a lamp. It's just for a little bit of comfort and luxury, I guess. If you like a real flame and like a candle, well, then you can take this with you and get a little bit of light. I'll try and light it up later. It's not lighting now, actually. I've just tried it and it won't light. I don't know if it's because it's too cold and the O-ring has frozen. It's not that cold. Is it around 0 + 1? But it doesn't want to work, so maybe it's fair weather only, that device. But I'll try and light it up later in the dark and you can see what it looks like. That's it for this one. I'm starting to get cold. The winter's coming. I'm not so happy about that. Long winter in Finland and the dark nights. Like I mentioned, actually, the summer is really nice in Finland. Almost 24-hour daylight where we are. The sun does go below the horizon, but not for long, and it doesn't get dark. 1 o'clock in the night is the darkest, I guess, and it's twilight. Still not dark, and the further north you go, the lighter it gets. But then in the winter it gets dark, especially in the autumn. We have the opposite problem, but the snow brightens things up, so nice to have a little bit of snow coming. But I'm ready for the summer already. 5 or 6 months to wait. Those are my thoughts on lighting systems. I'm not promoting anything. I'm not affiliated with anything. They're just things that I've bought over the years and that I've used, and pass it on if it's useful information for anybody. What do you use? Let me know if you've got any other ideas or anything that you prefer to use, any tips that might help us. Otherwise, thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe if you're interested in this kind of thing. I'll put some more out if you're interested, and see you on the trail.